You know it's a good week when you come in for Prep Sports Now and Ray Brewer is bemoaning his picks from the week before. I don't mean that as a slight, not poking fun at him for not picking. Well, it's just a lot of times in high school football, it feels like we know all what's going to happen, but that wasn't the case in week 2. Or are we on week 3 already?
Week 2, yeah.
Week 2, there were some surprises last week. And not all just surprises of winners and losers, but the margins of some games. It was a fun one. What stood out to you on Friday into Saturday?
So a few things. Really good to see 3 of the premier teams in town really kind of look good. Gorman played in Oregon, in Beaverton. They had the Nike Kickoff Classic, a game played on grass. It was weird kind of watching that one because it was on grass. NFL Network televised game, pretty cool. Looked great. I think Gorman has scored on something like 19 of 21 possessions this year. Their punter punted one time. There's a kid that might not get a lot of work. Liberty back and forth game against St. Louis of Hawaii on Saturday. Big win. Jaden Roberson goes off for his stats were like literally, CK, what you want to get in a career, right? Like there's literally some kids. I think the kid, you got to pull it up on Max Preps. I think he went for like 11 for 230 and 3 touchdowns, which is what a normal person would want in a career, like a season, right?
Robertson, 3 touchdowns, 10 receptions for 245 yards.
You give me that for the you talk to every receiver in town ahead of the season, and you're like, hey, for the year, you're going to go 10 catches, 250, and 3 tutties. Maybe the 10 catches, no, but the 250 and 3 touchdowns, I think half of the kids are like, yeah, sign me up for that. That gets you to a JC.
Yeah.
Victor Valley, baby.
And obviously he was the biggest part of it, but it looks like the quarterback Tyrese Smith had the weekly ad. He had Tyrese Smith had about 150 more yards than that, 9 more completions. So and I know St. Louis of Hawaii, we talked about last week, we ran through their notable alumni, that they might not quite be what they once were, but that's still a national known program and name brand. And Liberty was just able to throw the ball all over them. Does this change your expectations of how good the Patriots could be potentially?
Well, so what I really liked about Liberty was not this week against St. Louis, but last week when they went into California, they played St. John Bosco. Bosco's quarterback, by the way, El Salvadoranian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My wife, El Salvadoranian as well. But, they had a lead after the first quarter. They weren't blown out. They were able to move the ball. They did some good things. This is against the defending national champions. And then to come back home, remember, Liberty and Gorman, they're playing these national schedules where, like, Liberty goes from Gorman goes from Utah to Oregon. Liberty's California. They got a game here. Next Friday night, they've got a team coming in from Hawaii, Campbell, that scores a lot of points. So it kind of mirrors college football a little bit in the preparation week by week, getting your body right. And going into the season, Coach Morocco told us at our media day, CK, remember, so we got 30 seniors. This is not like they're going to roll over type of thing. So shout out to them. Also, shout out to Desert Pines case. Of course, 2 weeks ago, my Jaguars, your Jaguars, they get rained out. And then this week they come and they put it on faith a little bit, 38-13. Greg Burrell, who's going to the best university in America, UNLV, touchdowns 13-33, 11 yards. And you got to like Messiah Mingo took one to the house. And I just think face skilled position players are so much superior than every team in town except Gorman. Is that going to get me in trouble?
Did you mean Desert Pines? I think you said Faiths.
Oh,
Desert Pines of skill players
are
better than everyone except for Gorman. I think they're in the conversation. I don't know. You just had me looking at
the conversation.
Well, you just had me looking at those Liberty stats. Look like they got some Jimmies and Joes in your parlance as well.
They got Jimmies and Joes. I love that term.
No, but I don't think that's outlandish at all. I just think maybe you can make some arguments for other people. But I just asked you about an eye-opening victory. I feel like this is one I do believe we both picked the Jaguars, but we were kind of torn and thought it'd be a close game, right? We didn't. It looks like this one was over pretty quickly. They just blew out Faith Lutheran. I don't know. This makes me think a little bit differently about their ceiling, that they might have one of their better teams, because beating Faith Lutheran like that says something to me.
Yeah, or we've overvalued Faith Lutheran the whole time. And they're a good program. They've got a good tailback and Breslin, great kicker, and Cade Chinnington, probably saying that right or wrong, who knows? But we've always known about Faith. They just don't have the speed on the outside. Speed kills, dude. I'm telling you. You know this. You know football.
Yeah.
You played it.
Yeah. So
played it.
Yeah, I don't think I was playing against many. Well, I might have had a couple guys that were as fast as these guys on DP, but not many. They certainly are going to be fun to watch all year, and maybe the team you want to tune in for or go see a game, because of Burrell and, like Brewer said, the best skill guys this side of Bishop Foreman. We'll see if that holds true, but it has so far. Like I said, we both got that game right, though. Let's just jump to a game where I'm pretty sure we both missed the pick. This one kind of surprises me, unless I just misremember what we said on the podcast, but Palo Verde, who you were hyping up, runaway state champion, they lose to Centennial, who I feel like Centennial hasn't won a game in 2 years. Now they beat Palo.
So really enjoyed talking to DJ Campbell on Friday night. He's a kid, local kid from Cheyenne, went to Cal, played with the Panthers for a little bit, first-time head coach over at Centennial, and there's no secret. Centennial in 19, they upset Desert Pines. They go to the state championship game. They lose to Liberty. No season in 20, 21, and 22. They combined for 1 win. Well, in 6 days, they got 2 wins. DJ Campbell has instilled some confidence in his players. Some of the defensive sets they're running, he's very confident in. Likes what they're doing defensively, and Palo's been in really, really 2 tough games, right? The rain delay, go out against Faith, get the game in, and then play against the Centennial team. I'm still not worried about Palo. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Palo, and that's what I was telling somebody earlier too. Green Valley. Are you worried about Green Valley at 0-2? And likely going to get their teeth kicked in this week against Sierra Canyon, which is CIF, I think Division 4 state champ from last year.
I guess the difference is, though, Green Valley, both their teams have been out of state, right? So now this will be a third. Whereas Palo, I get still not being worried, but it is 2 local games that you were pretty convinced they were going to win.
Yeah, but they're in the same league as like Clark, bro. Clark didn't score against Colorado.
Well, I probably, I don't have the divisions up in front of me. I never do, and I can't remember them now. They're all different. So, I think that's the ultimate trump card. I think that's a good point.
I mean, I think that, like, you look at like Canyon Springs, right? Canyon Springs 2-0. They've beaten Virgin Valley, and they've beaten
Mojave. I just saw that score barely.
They were up, they were up like, this is one of the weird games where they were up like, I think 12-0 going into the fourth, midway through the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter. Mojave scored a touchdown, got an onside kick. And there's 2 common themes in all these games, Case. Number 1 is every team is cramped up. Like, have you ever got a cramp in your calf before, like playing?
Oh, I've had really bad cramps before. I'm the person to talk to about this. Yeah. I had like a full body cramp one game. It was awful. One of the worst things I've ever been through.
I've had like a Charlie horse in the middle of the night, which I hate. But I'm thinking, could we maybe get some bananas and Gatorade flowing pre-game?
It's just hard. I think some people are just predisposed to it. It's difficult. It's not that easy. But another thing I'll say is, you see this at every level of football this time of year. It's not like it's I don't know. It's just something that happens.
Do you eat bananas?
No.
You don't?
No.
You've never had a banana?
I mean, when I was like a kid. Okay. Not in 20 some years, probably.
All right. So the other common theme in high school at this time of year is the penalties. There had to have been last week, there was 19 games? I want to say there was 200 penalties called in those 19 games. No, even more than that. Because 10 per team, right?
Yeah, that doesn't 200 sounds a little high, but not ridiculous. Not out of the totally out of the ordinary.
10,
okay, that would be a lot.
I mean, the block in the back is some of the things I've heard, like you call the coaches and they're just like brutally honest.
Uh-huh.
You know, one coach telling me I was like they won like 38 to 6 or 7. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, you guys give up a touchdown at the end, and the guy's like, nah. Somehow our kicker decided he wanted to do an onside kick without letting anybody know.
Yeah. Wow.
That kind of stuff just cracks me up. So, but a fun time. So 2 games that I missed on. Let's say 1 game that we missed on and 1 game that I missed on.
Okay.
We is better than me.
Right? Yeah, I want to take my victory lap of now I can't remember. Now I know the game. Okay, I know the one I want my victory lap on.
So shout out to Democracy Prep for beating my alma mater, Chaparral, that I love. I will tell you that Steve Marcus and Hillary Davis were at Chap for the game, and they were texting me updates, and I was so shocked that Shep couldn't put them away, only because Democracy Prep is coming from the Class 2A, and they weren't even the class of the Class 2A. That was like the Meadows. The Meadows has been in back-to-back 2A state championship games. They play El Dorado this week. Democracy Prep was just a team. They got no field.
They were solid, though.
They got no field.
I'm trying to remember.
You got to have a field. You can't just go put cones out and have your kicker try to kick in between 2 trees.
I think we'll have to check the tape, but I seem like I remember last week I was really going to pick Democracy, and you talked me out of it because you made it seem non-competitive. So I don't get a full victory lap on this, but I get like a quarter. I knew it was going to be a close game.
I just, I've all these crazy rules when we pick, but right, like don't pick a California team against Nevada, or always pick the Vegas team over a Reno team. How about pick the team that has hash marks on their practice fields versus the team that doesn't have hash marks? That should be crystal gold.
I guess if you say so. Okay. Yeah, so that one was tough. And then I'm guessing the other one you wanted to talk about, Foothill 45, Moapa Valley 7. I did pick Foothill to win. Thought they could go in and win, but I don't think I had them by 38 points.
Yeah. Is this the worst loss that Moapa's had at home since we've been doing the show?
I mean, it's got to be, right? I can't remember them losing by 38. Maybe one of those years with some out-of-state opponent, they got beat pretty good.
I remember the year that Sawyers went up there with Sunrise, and they beat them in the playoffs.
Wasn't that like 7-6 or 14-12?
Whatever
or something?
it is. Even when Desert Pines went up there back in the day, it would come down to the wire.
Yeah.
But for Foothill, the kid from Foothill talk about stats that you'd like to have for the year. Kid threw for 6 touchdowns.
Wow.
Right? And I mean, and I guess I always assume that because it's name, one of my other favorite theories, name on the front of the jersey, right?
Yeah.
Right. Mason Dew goes off for 6 touchdowns, rush for another. And the speed of like Terrell McLovely or Devin Wake on the outside, Moapa just doesn't have anybody to keep up with them. RJ Hubert's not coming out of the stands anytime soon.
Yeah, pretty good day for Mason Dew. 45-7. That's wild. So congrats to the Falcons. Does it change your expectation level on them?
So
not totally.
That second tier with like Green Valley, Foothill, and Faith, I kind of had Green Valley as the leader in the clubhouse there. And then I said, well, Faith could run the ball, but maybe Faith, they got the good kicker. And now I'm like, well, Foothill. I mean, the thing is 2 weeks ago, they gave up 60 in California, against Clovis East, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so obviously, massive drop in competition, but I don't know. It's going to be fun, dude.
Yeah, Foothill should be in the conversation, I think, based off of that game. That kind of touches on a bunch of games from last week. Any other ones we missed that we need to spend some time on before the picks? If you got an out-of-state win, beat Pinnacle. Did we pick them? I don't remember.
Don't go to our scores, CK.
I went to our scores and you told me I said, wow, Green Valley beat Utah. And you told me they were wrong. Yeah, so then I went to another site. It's like Green Valley 35-15.
No, they lost. Did I type it in wrong?
Yeah, I think so. That's the only reason why I ditched our scores.
Well, I typed the Green Valley score in wrong and everybody copied me. I got to get that fixed.
Okay, so Arbor lost.
Yeah, I got in ours.
Right.
I got Arbor.
Well, I switched away from ours because of the Green Valley thing.
The Green Valley one was wrong. Right. Snow Canyon beat them, and there's proof that I've got all the scores and everybody takes them off me because Snow Canyon beat them 35-15, and I'm sorry.
Okay, well now that I know that's corrected, I can go back to our picks.
Okay. Anyway, shout out to everybody that won and shout out to everybody who played. And let's do our picks, CK. There's a lot of games, homie.
Sounds good. Oh, there are. Interesting. I haven't even looked at them, so I'm going off the cuff here, but we'll do some of them quickly. I think will be clear, including this one. We're just going in Brewers order. Maybe this is a Thursday night game. Yes, Valley at Boulder City. I've got Boulder City.
I've got Boulder City too. Shout out to CJ Jordan and his team at Valley. They beat Western last week. Great first game matchup. But you're not traveling to Boulder City in rush hour traffic to be on TV. New coaching staff at Boulder. They're going to throw the rock around. Could be some first game hiccups. I don't care how many hiccups there are. I agree with you.
Good for St. Louis of Hawaii. They're spending the whole week here it's got to be more than a week because they had to get here before the Liberty game, right? Now to take on Desert Pines. How's that working? Any details on that? Where are they practicing and stuff?
I'm not sure where they're practicing, but Ninth Island Classic. Shout out to Coach Nua. I kind of feel though, like with St. Louis being here in Las Vegas, it's like when the Cuban baseball team goes to the Olympics, right? You worry that a few of them are going to defect.
I don't think so.
If you keep Hawaii here long enough, a few of them might enroll at Gorman.
Oh, okay, I got you. I needed to let you finish. Okay, I kind of understand you.
But I just think it's tough for high school kids to be away that long. And even though we think that Liberty is better than Desert Pines, and St. Louis nearly beat Liberty, I think this is all DP. Close game, but give me the Jags.
Oh, I feel like Desert Pines deserves my pick after last week's performance. They played so well. Honestly, I might have taken St. Louis a week ago, but I'm going to hope that it wasn't just a one-off for Desert Pines, and they're really that sharp all year. If they're as sharp as they were last week, they can win this game. So I'll go with DP close as well. Is this part of the Classic too? Campbell and from Hawaii and Liberty?
Yes. And Campbell is they're rated as like the second or third best team in Hawaii behind Kahuka. I think I'm saying that right.
Okay. Never heard of Campbell, but I've heard of all these other schools.
Yeah, and they've scored like 171 points in 3 games. Oof. I'm going to take them.
Yeah, I think you have to if they're that highly ranked. Tough for Liberty having to take on that level of offense. We'll see. We just sang the praises of the Patriots offense, though. I guess it's the defense that's going to be a test this week. I will go with Campbell as well. Miami Central and Bishop Gorman. I believe the Gormans played Miami Central a couple times in the past, at least once, right?
I think Miami might have beat them.
Okay, maybe that's why I remember the game.
Big game, big spot. Miami Central's first game of the year, though. I just think that, again, I don't know. Gorman's defense I don't know about, right? I know that against Zach Wilson's brother, they gave a few points early. And I know against a weaker than usual Long Beach Poly team last week, they were great. But what I do know about Gorman is they score on every possession. And I give them the edge. It'll be a $110 out. On the turf, it'll be even hotter. No questions asked.
Yeah, I got to give the Gorman defense some love after I was so critical of them last week. Only giving up 15 points. I don't care if Long Beach Poly is down. That's still a heck of a program, probably better than anyone Gorman's going to face locally, right? I mean, holding them to 15, that means something to me. So clearly they've settled down. I think they're going to be pretty good. I just kind of, I don't know what you mean by your description, but I kind of take umbrage at it. The humidity of Miami has nothing on the dry heat of Las Vegas. I'll take this heat. Have you been to Miami? The Miami humidity's 10 times worse. I agree with you that it's hard for any. You're getting more scientific like me. You used to.
Yeah.
It's hard to adjust to anything. So I do think it's advantage Gorman in that. But man, give me this dry heat over that Miami humidity. Come
I've
on.
never been to Miami.
You don't want that. You don't want to mess with that humidity.
Yeah.
All right, but in the end, we're both on Gorman. Looks like Somerset is going to Flagstaff.
Yeah, I'm going to take Flagstaff. I hate to be the transportation picker, but I've made that drive to Flagstaff with you once, and inadvertently, remember?
Oh yeah.
And I just don't see Somerset, who's improved, being able to handle it.
Isn't Flagstaff High probably a pretty big school? I would think.
I don't know. I mean, it's not a big town,
but I would think it's bigger than just the Somerset Academy. Am I crazy? Losi?
I don't know.
I don't think it's a lot bigger.
I got no. All I know is that it's gonna be nice there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the transportation, but just maybe I'm crazy. I know it's not a huge town, but I got to think that it's bigger than Somerset. I got to think they got a little bigger pool of kids that they're drawing from. It looks like the enrollment's only 1,500 students. Huh? Who knew? Thought it'd be a little bit bigger than that. But
3 times Milwaukee Valley, by the way.
Yeah, and it's about 5 times the high school I went to. So it's still something, not tiny. Either way, I'm going to go with Flagstaff.
I hate to see this. I should have done some more recon.
What?
Flagstaff's got a new coach this year.
So you think Somerset?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, hey, I don't think this is published yet. You can change it.
Nah. I'm going.
All right. Apple Valley is coming here. They're from California and they're taking on Arborview.
Yeah, I mean, Arborview is one of those teams that has got doesn't have its complete body of work to go off of right now. They're still waiting on a few kids. And Apple Valley, according to our friends at Max Preps, hasn't been the best scoring team in town. Not that Arborview has. They've scored 11 points in 2 weeks. I think this is a low-scoring game. Vegas Heat again. Give me the Ags.
How arbitrary are these rules? The first rule you always cite is never a California team. You just break the rule that easily?
They're my rules, and I can adjust as I see necessary.
All right. I guess just in protest of that, I'll take Apple Valley. And what should be a close game, maybe Arborview even is better, but I'll take Apple Valley. Sierra Canyon coming to town as well to take on Green Valley.
Yeah, Sierra Canyon and Green Valley played last year. Decently close game, but Sierra Canyon, where LeBron James's kids previously went before leaving.
Where do they go now?
He transferred to somewhere.
No,
Bronny's.
Well, I know Bronny USC, but the younger kid I figured was still there. Yeah,
Bryce transferred to some school, and then he didn't even go to school, and he transferred, I think, to Notre Dame there.
Oh, okay.
Notre Dame, California. Either way, Sierra Canyon won CIF last year. They've got a few D1. They're loaded.
Even though Green Valley kept it close last year? Wow.
Yeah, this is going to get a
all right, yeah, I would think that off the top of my head, but I don't remember that game last year. They kept it close. I'm going to be on board with you and say Sierra Canyon. Pahrump Valley is coming to town to take on Del Sol. Could Pahrump be in trouble? All we hear about is how tough they are at home. No home field advantage to fall back on this week.
Yeah, it's always tough picking Pahrump in town. Don't know much about either team. Pahrump played half the game against Somerset. Del Sol, I don't even know what the heck they did. Give me Pahrump.
Yeah, I think Pahrump probably has a numbers advantage. This could be a close game, though, but I'll go with Pahrump. Canyon Springs at Legacy.
Yeah, I like Legacy better than Canyon, but I think Canyon's on a little bit of a heater. I give them 3 in a row, Canyon.
I'm going to go with Legacy. I mean, they needed overtime to beat Mojave. That makes me think this isn't your Canyon team of 5 or 6 years ago. That was at the top of the world, right?
Cool. Like Cheyenne, Mojave, Legacy, and Canyon, they're basically a few miles from each other, and it's essentially the same kid. And it's a coin flip, in my opinion. But
all right, well, I'm going to go with Legacy. I guess we're on the opposite sides of that coin flip. Silverado at Foothill. A little bit surprised about your pick here after maybe I'm just overreacting to last week so much, but I think I have a clear winner here, and it's not the same as yours.
Okay, so here's the deal. Silverado's won like 24 in a row. had a little bit of a struggle with basic that we didn't see coming last week, only won 30-22. Eventually, the winning streak's going to end because they lost a lot of people from the back-to-back state championship team. They got to play DP, they got to play Arbor, they got to play Liberty, they got to play Gorman. 4 guaranteed losses. For me, Silverado still could pressure the quarterback and still has some DBs that could cover, which is something that Milwaukee didn't have. I'll take the Skyhawks.
I do agree with you. I think it is a big time defense against big time offense, with Mason Dew against that Silverado defense that has a lot of those kids that won 24 straight games. But I am of the mind that the great offense wins out more than the great defense. I know that goes against the classic defense wins championships mantra we hear in football, but I don't know. I'm captivated by this Foothill offense right now. So I will be with you in that it's a close game. You have Silverado by a touchdown. I will take Foothill by a touchdown. The winning streak comes to an end. A winning streak that will not come to an end is in the Bone game where Las Vegas will win. I don't know what it even is, 30-some in a row, 40-some in a row.
This is a no-brainer. Vegas over Rancho. The Bone stays home.
Yep. Virgin Valley at Sunrise Mountain could be somewhat interesting. Virgin Valley probably a cut above, but Sunrise Mountain, they're off to a good start to the season too. They won't be a walkover at least.
No, I like the Gunnar Cortez kid from Virgin. Virgin had Canyon on the ropes. Sunrise worse than Canyon. Give me Virgin.
Yeah, I got to go with Virgin too. I'm a little bit higher on them, but I think Sunrise keeps it maybe closer than the experts expect. Centennial at Snow Canyon. Can the Bulldogs make it 3 in a row? No. I completed it for you.
Snow Canyon.
Yeah, big shout out to Centennial though. Great start to the year, but this is a tough assignment. And now on to another team going out of state, except Spring Valley is heading south instead of east and going to take on Perry in Arizona.
Yeah, no, Perry scores a lot. Spring Valley, easy game against Bonanza to open the season. Don't see them winning this.
Yeah, great experience going down to Arizona. All these teams that are going out of state, I think it's super cool. They get to do it. You hope they put out their best and make it a game, but a hard sell for me seeing them being able to win this game. So I'm going to go with Perry as well. Mojave at Palo Verde. Is this the week PV breaks out 2 close losses to start the year? I think they probably get a W this week.
I agree with you, sir.
All right, Palo Verde for both of us. Cheyenne at Cimarron.
Yeah, this is 2 teams that have competed against each other since when the schools opened in 91. The cool thing is when both were powerhouses, it was a great game. And now that both are kind of emerging, it's still a great game. And that's because the duel in the desert is so meaningful. Cool night. I'll take the Spartans of Cimarron.
Yeah, Cheyenne shut out last week. I just trust Cimarron to be able to score a little bit more. So I'm going to go with Cimarron as well. Clark at Sierra Vista. We should have mentioned very quickly, I think I saw Sierra Vista picked up a win against an out-of-state opponent, right? Unless we have the score wrong again.
That was one of the games that I inadvertently left off the picks last week. It was at the bottom. I missed it on Max Prep, so I apologize. But I got the Mountain Lions. They think they're going to win state, so why not?
Since I don't have the divisions in front of me, I've already established who are they in with? Who are they competing with?
They're in the
Palo one.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Oh.
They're in not the Green Valley Foothill one, and not the Palo one, but the one in the middle.
Okay.
Am I making it too difficult?
No, it's not your. I don't think you're the one that made these. I think you're probably right. It's just there's a lot of divisions, but yeah. Okay, sure. I could think Sierra Vista beats Clark as well. Coronado at Durango. A little surprised with your pick here again too. I feel like you're just a Cougar hater. They acquitted themselves pretty well last week. Didn't get the win against a Utah school, but didn't get blown out either. Scored some points. I know Durango beat Desert Oasis. We were both wrong on them, but I guess I'm going to poke the bear and go against the Trailblazers again. I'm saying Coronado handles them this week.
Yeah, I was impressed with what Durango did last week. I had a high opinion about Desert Oasis. And Durango went in there and handled them pretty easily. Great balance offensively and defensively. Great balance in the run and pass game. Sophomore quarterback for Durango got it done. I'm going to give him a shout out right here. CK Aiden Hernandez and Kamarian Taylor had 162 yards rushing. I think they got a chance. I'm going with the Blazers. You're probably the favorite, though, CK.
All right, well, this should be a fun one. I think it will be somewhat close, but yeah, I like the Cougars here. Chaparral, it's going to be tough to get back on winning track this week if you stick towards your theory. Or is the theory wiped out that you can't win at Overton after that 33-point loss to Foothill? Could the Cowboys hand Moapa Valley the unthinkable second straight loss at home?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, not even the biggest fan can say that. So I'm going to go with Moapa as well. I don't know. 40-0 seems pretty crazy to me, though. I think maybe Shap at least gets on the board this week. We'll see. Shadow Ridge at Desert Oasis.
Shadow Ridge, big win last week at Spanish Springs. We should have mentioned them earlier.
Oh, that was like your huge game. That was all that mattered to you.
Shadow Ridge had some turnovers, but they still managed to get it done. Nice pick six to seal the game. I've got the Stangs 1-1.
Wow. Yeah. Apologies to Shadow Ridge. That was like that. I think you said that was the biggest game of the year to you, or some hyperbole. You had to have them win it, and they did it. I think they keep up their winning ways against Desert Oasis, which leads to a great segue for the next two games because it's two more Southern Nevada teams taking on Northern Nevada opponents. Seems like Southern Nevada has a big edge through 2 weeks. Can they get two more wins here? It's Carson City at Basic and Faith Lutheran at Reed. I guess talk me through both of them. Is there one closer than the other? Are you worried about one?
So I was at the state game last year at Carson, so I kind of know what to expect with Carson. And Basic is head and shoulders more people to choose from and better athletes. And I think they went up there last year and won. So Basic's a no-brainer. And I'm sorry, of all the teams in Reno, if we were doing a statewide top 10, I'd be hard-pressed to put one of them in the top 10, and it wouldn't be Reed. It would be Minot.
Wow.
So I don't care who's playing quarterback for Faith, and I don't care where the game's contested. I'll take the Crusaders.
All right.
How's
I mean,
that for you?
it's just funny. I've seen these rules flip. When I first came here, it was never the rule was you never take the Southern Nevada team traveling to Northern Nevada. Now it's never take. I know. I think you're being genuine though. But I know it gives you great joy to say there's not a top 10 team in the North.
I think that's also when it's colder.
Okay, so playoffs,
yeah, playoff. But I agree with you. I have flipped a little bit.
All right, I'm going Faith Lutheran and Basic as well. I guess might as well keep being a Southern Nevada homer, but I don't know. Faith has shown some cracks. They're kind of lucky to have one win so far at all. If there was going to be an upset, I'd probably say Reed could beat Faith Lutheran, but I'm not calling for it. I'm going with Faith and with Basic, and so is Brewer. How about El Dorado at the Meadows?
Yeah, again, the Meadows had been to that state game back-to-back years, got elevated from the 2A. I'm not sure, Case, on this one. El Dorado ran 3 total plays in the second half last week in Blank and Clark. So their offense has had a handful of plays all year.
How do you only run 3 plays? They just kneel? I don't understand how that's possible.
They were on defense the whole time. That's what he said.
That was 3 plays possible. Makes no sense to me, but okay.
So, fingers crossed, but I got to go with Eldo. I mean, I don't know, man.
All right. Well, you seem
this
like
is a 2A school. I mean, we're literally a few people dropping out of school away from playing 8-man football. We'd like to think that El Dorado could beat an 8-man football.
Yeah. All right. I guess with that rousing endorsement, I'll go with El Dorado as well. I don't know though. I'm a little bit worried about it with the way you're talking. And we'll sign off with poor Needles. They're having like a travel through the 3A contenders. They got beaten up badly by Virgin Valley last week, and got to think it's going to be the same this week against Slam.
I would wholeheartily agree with you.
Yeah, so Slam
Speaking
big.
Of teams that should be playing 8-man football.
Slam?
No.
Oh, no, Needles.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Needles?
probably driven by it, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't know if driving by it counts.
Like, have I physically been
Yeah,
to
yeah.
a game there? No.
Oh, not a
But
game, just been in the
in the
town.
city, I
Yeah.
don't think so. Have you?
No.
Do you even know where it's at?
I know. I mean, roughly, not within like if you tell me to drive there right now, I couldn't make it. But I know it's in the. I know it's like a famous desert town.
Is it
somewhat
on the
close to
way
a border.
to Kingman, or is it on the way to California?
That's California for sure. I think that's like Death Valley.
Oh, is that where they have the gyro thing?
I think it's. I don't think it's right off 15. I could be wrong.
Route 66.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's famous Route 66.
Get your kicks on Route 66.
Oh, it is actually right on the Arizona California border. It looks like interesting. So not really where I thought it was. I thought it was a little more north. It's a geography lesson to sign off on the podcast today.
Well, apparently you could get a bus from here to there for $4.99.
I just know it's a famous desert town, and a lot of these little towns that I wouldn't expect you to have been to over the years, you'll tell me you've been to. So I thought I'd get see if you'd been there.
There's a kid, Bullhead City has got a team, and they got a kid who's a real big recruit. I think he's going to like Army.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I just thought I'd share that. I don't know the kid's name, and it might not be Bullhead City. It might be the Mojave High, which is across the border or whatever. But
yeah,
there's a kid that goes to one of those schools that at one point a few months ago was committed to Hawaii.
All right.
Army.
Interesting. All right, Army opening the season this week against Louisiana Monroe. In case you want your college football update. But anyways, maybe someday we'll get to Needles. I wouldn't count on it though. We'll see how they do this week. Hosting Slam and see how all the other games play out. We'll be back next week. For Ray, I'm Case. Thanks for listening to Prep Sports Now.